Hello everyone, it's Karen Cornell, your Creative Memories Advisor, and I'm super excited again to do another project recipe with you because it's really helping me get a lot done, and I'm actually reusing some of the techniques from some of these project recipes in bits and pieces or replicating them completely in other layouts. And so it's helping me get a lot done this year, which I hope it is for you too. And from what I've heard in the comments, you're getting a lot done as well. So this is actually a funny story about this one. We're actually going to do number 10 today. And it was the first one I videotaped back in January. And when I say it was a hot mess with me talking and doing it, it was a hot mess. So I definitely need to see if I have those outtakes because it was so funny and it was just a mess because I'd never done this, consistently of recordings before. And so I guess I was putting so much, pressure on myself. So I was like, oh, forget it. I'm going to do a different one first. So I actually completed it a while ago, but I'm going to redo it. And I actually was inspired from one of my customers this past week, this past weekend. My customer, Carrie, she finished an album. So whatever we do, whenever somebody finishes an album, we all gather around and we're like, oh, let's look at it. And we're like, oh, I remember when you did that layout. Oh, I remember that layout. And it's so neat to see an album with all the layouts put together. And then it just is just so magical. And all of us, talking about the different layouts and the different techniques and the pictures and embellishments and all that stuff from a scrapbooker's point of view, it's just really special. And it really means a lot for somebody that's created it to see how much everybody appreciates it. And I know Carrie appreciated it, especially when I said, oh my gosh, I've done that layout. That's number 10. And, but I haven't recorded it and you need to do that. And what she did with it is she turned it. So, and it completely was like an aha moment, like, oh yes, that's definitely one should be turned. It looks so cool. So that's what I'm going to do with it. I'm going to show you the original one and then we're going to do, change it a little bit, but still the same cut. So we're going to go through it. And I have some little cheat sheets and some tips about how when you have lots of custom cutting system and you have lots of inside, outside, red, blue, all different, what I do to help kind of streamline it so I don't have to keep going back to the directions and freaking out. So let's get started. So we're doing number 10, and this was what Creative Memories came up with. And this, I haven't embellished it yet, but this was what I created. And I love it because I have lots of, bathtub pictures. And I cut out this little duck from the rubber duck punch that I want to put in there somewhere. But I haven't finished it all because I, tabled it. But this is basically the gist of the layout we're going to be doing. So, and there's lots of custom cutting systems. So you will need all 3 circles, the small, medium, and large. And you're also going to need the red and the blue blade. So go ahead and get those out. If you don't have this little holder, oh my gosh, it's amazing. I never lose my blades anymore. I love it. So you need both of those. And then what I did, and I'll show you this when we do, is I did little sticky notes that said what we're going to do. And so I'm going to put that with the paper that it impacts, okay? So I don't go crazy with it and cut the wrong thing. So you're going to need 5 sheets of designer paper. I substituted the background paper for cardstock. And I am using the Sweet Summer collection. These are my last papers from Sweet Summer. I can't wait. So it's going to be great to get that collection complete and full of layouts. So, and then you'll need 3 designer papers. Designer paper number 2, you're going to use the front and the back. So make sure you like both sides. Pay attention if it's directional, if you care which direction it is. And for designer 3, they have these little strips that are for journaling. I actually prefer the write-on stickers instead, just because if I make a mistake, I can just rewrite it. So that's these little stickers like this. I love them. So they come in 2 different sizes. This is the smaller size, but they're just little strips for journaling and you can cut them any size you want. So I really like these write-on stickers. So that's what I'm going to use for those. But if you would like to use your paper, then make sure you have a very kind of soft, subtle paper on the back side so you can journal. So let's get started. Our first cut, oh, you're gonna need a border maker cartridge as well. I'm using the ribbon weave chain, this one. And then you're gonna need your border maker system and then a trimmer. So the first cut you're gonna make are 5 inches straight down. So nice and easy. Nothing too crazy. We'll get started slowly. Nah, we can handle it. So 2 5-inch cuts straight down. Remember, if you don't have this book, don't worry. I walk you through every step. And then this is extra. Save it for a cute little border. So that's your first cuts. Now your second paper, this is where you're gonna have to do some custom cutting system. So this is where you're gonna have the H and the I cut. So I'm just gonna put that over here so I remember. And you're gonna cut at 4 1/4 straight down. Then you're gonna turn it and you're gonna go at 5 3/4. So I have to open up your arm. 5 3/4. And this is gonna be the reverse, or we'll figure that out because these are all the same size that you're cutting. So you'll need one that needs to be turned and one that doesn't. Then you're gonna do another 4 1/4. Straight down. Then you're going to turn it and you're going to go to 5 1/4. So it's almost to the edge of that trimmer right there. Then you're going to do 6 1/4 and you'll have just a smidge left over. So this is extra or trash. And then we're gonna save this to do our custom cutting system. But like I said, I put H is the inside largest red blade. And then I and G are both, you're cutting both the inside and the outside with the medium circle with the red blade. Okay, so those are my little cheat sheets. And then I have another cheat sheet. So this is my other cheat sheet. So I have it with the paper. And I like to put them on the small sticky notes so that I can still cut my paper. So I have it all right there ready to go. So I know exactly when I come back to my custom cutting system that and cutting these little circles that I am going to use the right paper. I don't have to reference it back. Then we're going to punch our border first. Sorry. So let's get our border maker system. And I'm using the ribbon wave chain. I just thought this looked like nice and fun for this paper. Make sure you don't get it caught like I almost did. Sometimes they're kind of touchy and they don't want you to do more than one punch at a time. So it's okay to take it and give it a little shake. And you're going to do another one. You're just going straight down 6 times. And then that's all the punching you need. So you can just kind of put that all off to the side, brush all the excess away. Normally I use my little mat. It makes it easier to get rid of all the trash. I hope everybody's having a good week. It is such a beautiful day here in Georgia right now. the low humidity, which, you know, in Georgia we don't get very often. And then it's just a beautiful fall day. I absolutely love it. I have my back doors open in my house. It's just pretty. Okay, so next we're going to cut 4 1/4. We know that cut, don't we? So we're gonna go straight down at 4 1/4. And then you're gonna go 5 3/4. So there's those mats. Now this is where you can cut, if you would like to cut off of this, you can cut 1/2-inch strips to 4 1/4. You're gonna need 3 of those. So I would go ahead and cut your circles and then cut those if you would like. So let's get started on our circles. So we're gonna have, let me move this out of the way so I don't get blade happy. Okay, so now we are going to cut with our custom cutting system. And my tip to you is to have little cheat sheets for putting these in here. Like H is the inside, you're gonna cut inside with the largest circle with the red blade. And then I and G, you're gonna cut both the inside and the outside with the medium and red blade. So make sure you switch. So we're gonna start with the largest because we're gonna do H first, and we're gonna do the red blade, and it's on the inside. So we're gonna line it up so it's straight, and then you kind of wanna center it. And don't worry if it's not like exactly half or whatever, because you can adjust that by tucking it underneath in the layout. So it'll be fine. So we're gonna cut, we're going straight to the edge here. See how it comes to the edge? So we wanna make sure we're to the edge. And we're gonna do the inside, let's double check, inside, red blade, largest circle. Got it, okay. Because this paper is kind of small and not going across, I kind of hold the paper and the custom cutting circle. So that's one. Then we are going to cut, then we're putting this aside, and we're gonna get the medium blade, and we're gonna do the red blade again. And we're gonna do the inside and the outside. So we're gonna just line this up straight. So make sure your paper's straight. And we're doing red blade, inside and outside. So we're gonna do inside first. Get it in the grooves. And don't move your custom cutting system. Then you're gonna do the outside. There we go, and the paper has moved, so that's good. Okay, so now we're gonna cut the other paper, designer paper 3. Then we have this cheat sheet. So we have Q and R inside the largest, blue, then red. So you're gonna do the blue blade inside of the largest circle, and you're gonna do blue, then red. So let's do blue first. And so you're not gonna move this at all, okay? Keep it still. Blue. I don't know why it's not cutting right at the end. We go from the other direction. There we go. Blue, then red. I'm going to start here. There it goes. I know this can be kind of scary cutting this many custom circles, but when you break it down and you make little notes, it helps a ton. So this is Q and R. And then we have S, which is S is outside of the smallest blue, then red. Outside. So you're going to do blue first, then red. I'm going to go up here as much as I can. Oh, I messed up. No, I didn't. Red is closer. Whew. Slight panic. That's why I have notes and I make sure I do it right. Okay, so there we go. Got that done. So that's S. This is all we need from that. This is extra. And then we need T. T is both of the medium. So we're going to go right here. And you want to center it because you're doing both. So I would just line it up on one of these lines. That's what I do. Then you're going to do both. So you're going to do so you're going to go on the inside and the outside. So we're going to do the inside first. Then we're going to do the outside. Uh-oh. Oh, it was done. That's why it moved. Okay, so we are done with. Okay, so now let's get this all figured out. So I probably should have done this when I first cut them, but I didn't. So we're going to label these. So this is my G and my H, and then this is my I. Oh wait, this is my I, and this is my H. So we have G and I are right here, and then H. Okay, then let's get all of these. So this is my Q is right here, and my R is here, my S and my T. Now, have it all ready. Got my little repositionable mat. Now let's assemble. So we could do this. So then we're going to put T as our background. And then we have S, R, and I. So we have R and S and I. So this is going to go here. And see how it kind of comes off? That's okay because I'm going to adjust it. So I can tuck it under and nobody will ever know. I'm just trying to get equal distance around all of the rainbow. And then I know this one is taking a little bit longer than we normally take, but it's because of this custom cutting system. But when you finish this one, you're going to be very proud of yourself. So it's worth it. So we're going to add that one. And then we're going to add the last one. And you can choose which side. I may switch the sides. I don't know. I think I'm going to keep it this because the colors are so vibrant. That's what I like. And so then I can cut that off with my custom cutting system. Or not custom cutting. I'm really liking saying that right now. With my trimmer. There we go. See, there it is. Super cute. It kind of gives that optical illusion, which is, it's hard to see when you're trying to assemble. So that's why all these little pieces help. So then we have H is the background. Then we have Q. Again, just kind of eyeball it so it's in the center. And this you're going to flip. And then you will cut this off as well. And there's that. Now let's assemble the whole thing. Okay, got the circles and the rainbows done. Now we can assemble everything. So this is going to go about 1.5 inches up from the bottom. Or about, well, I think it's about 2 inches up. Let's see. Yeah, about 2 inches up. If you want it. Oops, totally just moved. And then you have your cute little border. I remember when this border came out, it was like right around when the Trolls movie came out. It just reminded me of Poppy's hair. And then I know that's silly. I like to line it up. Then we'll put this down. And then the rest of it's pretty easy because you just I'm going to do it this way so it continues. Doesn't look even. Hold on. That's why we use repo. Line it up. There we go. Much better. Okay. Now we get to put these in. So this is going to go down here. And it's going to tuck underneath a mat. And then this is going to go up here. And we have these fun mats. So let's see, we've got, this is L and M, so they're going to go here. And then this, where's my shorter ones? Let's see. So I got E. It's going to go here. And then F is going to go here. And then this is going to go, or this is going to go here. And this is going to go here. I'm going to flip that. There we go. Okay, so. And then the cool thing that I thought would be fun is going this way. I just think that's really cool. They have it like this, but you could do this. It's very cute. I like it a lot. Anyway, or you could do the original, which is this. as well. This was my original one. So this is quite challenging because of all the custom cutting system, but hopefully I gave you some tips about using the Post-it notes, double checking your cuts before you cut, and don't be afraid to just pause for a moment and think it through, which is what I had to do to make sure I was going to cut it correctly. I was like, let me pause for a minute and make sure I'm cutting this. So anyway, I hope this helps you. I love this one. It's recipe number 10. I love it, not with baby papers. I think you can do it with other things. That's why I did it with summer, so it was kind of fun. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Happy scrapping.